Hello, attorney broker John McConnin here, and we're going to talk about the sale of real property in probate today. We're going to just touch on the basics. I have many forms, many PDFs that I'm happy to send to people. All you have to do is ask on the website at favoriterealestate.com. Go to one of the probate pages, shoot me a one of the forms. Talk to John or send me an email or even call me. My website's my phone number 760-896-4663, and I can get you the starting information. Now I know how it can be overwhelming in the beginning, and you don't even want to ask the questions, so you get the information. I'm happy to provide it to you. So now, skipping ahead to the sale of probate property or property in probate, who has the authority to sell it is one of the main questions. Escrow is going to ask. Title may ask through escrow or on their own. Buyers may ask. The listing agent really should find out. He should help the heirs determine if they actually have the authority to sell at the time or they have to go through steps. Your probate attorney, if you hire one, is going to want to help you with that question. And it boils down many times to this. The personal representative has the authority to sell the property after it's granted to by the court. Who isn't a personal representative? It's an executor or executrix who is named in a will, or an administrator who is appointed by the court. And they may sell the authority when it's in the interest of the estate, and it's pursuant to authority given to them by the will to sell the property or by the court. Now, what does that process involve? Well, let me just take you to we'll work our way back from the purchase agreement to the listing agreement. There's a purchase agreement that's set up. The California Realtors Association suggests you could probably use a regular purchase agreement with addendums, but we have this probate purchase agreement. In fact, anywhere you see probate, the California Association of Realtors forms are going to talk about certain disclosures. Let me see. Now that possible representation more than buyer, probate purchase and sale agreement. Well, I'll just go to the page. I wanted to point out paragraph 13 here because it comes up with attorneys and sellers because they're concerned. And as with the regular purchase and sale agreement, even though a lot of realtors don't realize this, especially buyers realtors, because they're always acting like you're supposed to fix the properties are being sold as is. Right? It's right there in 13. Now, let me tell you, attorneys out there, I know why you want to make buyers sign as is addendums and make it clear to them in a separate addendum, and I'm totally on board with that. But for lawyers out there and realtors, I think if we're going to do as is, because I've seen it spook buyers, I think in those circumstances, if there's a little bit of money in the state, or if you want to work with me, we'll find a way. Maybe I'll pay them. Maybe we'll pay it out of escrow. But we should get the property pre-inspected. We should get, that's a regular inspection. If there's a pool, we'll get a pool inspection. We want to do termite ahead of time. If we can, we'd like to say the repairs are made pursuant to those reports. But again, I know that there's limits. These are things we can talk about. That's why it's a consultation. Not initially, you can just call and ask questions, but we'll eventually have a consultation about what our goals are to try to maximize value of the estate for the property. But we can even have staging. We can have, a clean out of the property is frequently done by trustees and everybody else to try to bring value to the estate. There may be some repairs, carpets. I mean, we have teams. I've flipped homes, so I have teams who can do that stuff. We can bring them in. I can give you their names, so you don't have to trust me with everything. And I think it's always good to have someone overseeing the transaction for you. I like to suggest that if you have a probate attorney, bounce questions off me as a realtor. Most attorneys are great. I love working with them on this stuff, but sometimes you don't want to pay them by the hour all the time. You want to ask some questions. But anyway, we have a purchase and sale. It's as is. We want to deal with that clause. We have a probate advisory. This is going to be all over the documents. I was talking on the phone a lot today. My voice is going. Let me get a drink of water here. I'll try to talk a little deeper. Now, this also comes up with all facets, from buyers to sellers. Buyers agents, again, they have coordinators, and they always want the paperwork, and we have to show them that a lot of the disclosures are not necessary, like the TDS. This is, let me pull up a TDS. Here it is. It's a really nice document for buyers. It helps sellers also avoid liability by disclosing all this information. But why do they do this? Because it's presumed they're either owners of the property, they lived in it, even if it was a rental, they were aware of it. They're supposed to disclose this stuff to their best of their knowledge. Now, in a probate situation, frequently the executor hasn't lived in the property, doesn't know these answers, and no one's going to expect them to do this. So, as we see in the probate advisory, there are exemptions to the typical disclosure laws. So, you want to work with someone who can help facilitate this process. We can talk. I'm an attorney and a broker. I can talk authoritatively with escrow, and escrow sometimes gets it wrong, or probate, or buyer's agents, or their brokers, or their company lawyers. I mean, it happens. You don't always have to spend money on your probate attorney when your probate attorney is also licensed. Your probate realtor also happens to be licensed and can save you money. Similar, we'll go into trust in another video, but so we've got exemptions. We've talked about the disclosures. We've talked about the separate purchase and sale agreements. Now, since I try to keep these videos to 5 minutes long, we're gonna close it up here. But once again, this is John McConnin. Feel free to call and just fire away at some questions. I know sometimes it's very early in the process. I'm not going to be pushing you to list right away, as some realtors would. It's a consultative process. I understand. In the beginning, it's just a few questions. Maybe I can get you, put you in touch with a probate attorney in your area. Just give me a call, and if you got any questions, let me know, or send me some questions on the website. Thanks.